Welcome. You're tuned into Life is a Sacred Journey. Every week, we bring a new perspective to aging and caregiving. Here is your host, Micheal Pope. Good morning and good afternoon and good evening, wherever you are. I'm trying to get there we go, in the virtual neighborhood of Life is a Sacred Journey. It's good to be with you this day after Thanksgiving. I ate a lot. Yeah, I ate a lot. So I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. You have joined us for Life is a Sacred Journey. I am your host, Micheal Pope, and you have joined the virtual neighborhood living room. Get your cup of coffee, get your tea, or whatever it is that you're drinking this morning. Hopefully it's water throughout the day for everything that we ate yesterday. And I just want to, first of all, just say how grateful I am that I had a wonderful Thanksgiving with my son and his wife and her parents and my daughter, and new traditions have formed. This is the second Thanksgiving that I have not cooked. So that's amazing. Well, I did make something to take, but I mean, people haven't come to my house. So new traditions are being started. I hope that you started some new traditions in your family. I hope you had a wonderful day. So why don't you do this? Write in the chat. We did before Thanksgiving, we talked about what we were grateful for. But this morning, why don't you put in the chat, or afternoon or evening, wherever you're watching us and you know, in this wonderful blue globe that we live on, what was, you know, your favorite thing that you ate yesterday? Share that with the rest of us. What was the favorite recipe thing that you ate that you were just so happy to have that? I know we were happy to be with family and friends, because that hands down this year, because of the pandemic, was so magnificent, just to be in the same room without a mask, and we all had our vaccinations and boosters and all of that, and so it's just really nice to hug and hold on during that hug. So I hope you got some hugs yesterday, and that you gave some hugs yesterday, because hugs are magnificent, because you give and receive at the same time. And so I hope you got a chance to do that. But write in the chat right now, what was your favorite thing? I had a sweet potato pie that was not made from the normal sweet potatoes or yam that you would think of. It was made from my daughter-in-law made it from the purple sweet potatoes. It was delicious, and it was beautiful. It was pretty. I was like, okay, I think I'll be making one of those. So that's my favorite thing that I had. One, because it was something that even though it was a flavor, meaning sweet potato pie, that I love and adore, but it was new because it was made from the purple sweet potatoes. So what is your favorite recipe? Share with the virtual family of Life is a Sacred Journey. Write it down. What was your favorite meal? So today I'm showing up as I always tell you that I will, because I figured many of you, would be home, and it would give me an opportunity to say hey to some people that I haven't said hey to for a minute. I want to, first of all, just take a moment. You can see the candle is lit behind us. And for all the people that this was their first Thanksgiving without somebody that was around the table, or somebody that they would have picked up the phone and called, or had a Zoom with. If this is the first season, the first holiday season that you're experiencing, and it started with Thanksgiving, right? It always starts with Thanksgiving, our holiday seasons. We begin to get, today, everybody's going to be running to the store to shop. I will not be one of them. I will be going home and chilling. But let's take a moment, just take a moment to think about those people, the people that are left behind to continually grieve and to mourn, because that's just the natural order of things, but also just lighting a candle for those that have gone on before us and weren't around the table this year. So we just take a moment of silence for all of that. Just a moment. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for always hanging in there with me when I ask you to take a moment, or when I'm using terminology that sometimes is more from a spiritual perspective than it is from a secular perspective. Thank you for hanging in there with me, because I live in two worlds. I live in a world of, the capitalistic world, the secular world, the Black Friday world. I live in that world. I'm definitely living on this planet. But at the end of the day, I try to take it. I'm at that stage in my life where taking things loftier are so much more important to me than just living status quo. And so thank you for putting up with the schizophrenic mind of Micheal Pope. So thank you for that. I want to lift up with gratitude and praise for just life today. When I put my foot on the floor this morning, I was thinking about a lot of things. A lot of thoughts were going through my head. I have a practice when I wake up in the morning, before I do anything, before I put my feet to the ground, I count back from 100. That's the first thing I do. I have living water next to my bed, and I drink water first. That's the first thing that I do now before having a cup of coffee or two or three. And then I meditate and pray, and then I get out of the bed. So I do all of this while I'm in bed. And so it's one of those things where I get that the importance of just being quiet and in the moment, which is sometimes extremely difficult, right? We find ourselves, our minds are just so busy, and we just find ourselves so caught up in the busyness of life. So I try to do that first thing in the morning. And this morning, as I was doing that, it was still dark outside. And, a lot of thoughts like, is the garbage man coming? Did I put the garbage out? Just all kinds of, the thoughts of the day. Was there going to be traffic? Could I sleep an extra half hour? Because I did come to my office because I like talking to you from here. And I thought about the word thanks, and I thought about the word gratitude, and I thought about all of that. And then I said to myself, I value life because it is sacred, because it's not something that lasts forever. Like, it's not something that my life will exist in many phases, and has existed in many phases. So of course, as an infant, a toddler, a child, I needed support and help from my family and from my parents so that I could grow and all of that. And now I'm in a season of my life where children are launched into adulthood, and I'm examining who I am and my why and my purpose. And, why did I have to go down certain roads that I knew those roads were going to be terrible for me? But then I'm reminded that, in my 20s and stuff, teenage years, that's our mind. We don't know, and we want to experiment, and we want to do things. And so, and I'm like, okay, what if I hadn't done X, Y, Z? What if I hadn't done this or that? And, after all that contemplation and questioning of the spirit and soul and mind and all of that, I got to this. There is no experience that I have had, good or bad, that hasn't fueled this moment. All of those things are a part of this moment between you and I. That without those things, this moment would never have come to be. There would be no reason for this moment, because there would be nothing to share. So everybody, all the storytellers out there, we just thank you for being storytellers, right? For being storytellers. It takes courage. I said to somebody, I started Life is a Sacred Journey 9 years ago, and it was on Blog Talk Radio. And Katia Kabwe, who is the young, beautiful voice that you hear introducing Life is a Sacred Journey, and Frederick and Buju, were here, Tiara, and they said, you need to do this. Yeah, okay, fine, let's do it. And we did. And it was a 1-hour podcast, and it was great. It was wonderful. Stuart Furman was on it, Lance Reynolds. I mean, we had some really great guests as we continue to do. Then 2018 or something, 2018, just a lot of busy stuff happening in my life, ASAP, and I just got tired. So we went on a hiatus, and we're still playing some of the old stuff on Blog Talk Radio. And I went to Felicia and I said, because Felicia and I have remained in contact since her time here. And I went to her and I said, I need to do this thing again. We need to figure out what we're going to do with the old stuff and la, la, la. And then the pandemic came and here we are. There was no discussion about Facebook Live. There was no discussion about Peloton. There was no discussion about Micheal Pope Productions. There was no discussion about any of that. It was about, oh my gosh, we have this pandemic. We need to figure out a way to get information to people. We need to get information. We need to figure out a way to make the program hybrid. And Life is a Sacred Journey was already happening. Pardon me. And so we did it. And here we are, and here you are, supporters and ambassadors of Life is a Sacred Journey and our messaging. And I just want to thank you for that. And now we're moving into this place where we're beginning to be change agents for people across the world with our messaging. And that feels so good. You have no idea how great that feels. I met one of our listeners, and when he said to me, "You're Micheal Pope," I was like, okay, this is a little spooky, crazy. But then he said to me, thank you for, and you guys, I don't watch these after they go in the can. That's the technical, the slogan or the lingo for this. But I don't watch them. I'm not like sitting there like egotistically watching them. And so this moment that I have with you is just this authentic moment. And then Felicia takes it and does what Felicia does. And then it's a moment that I've had with you, and after this moment is over, I take you in my heart and spirit, and then I move on until we have another next moment. And when somebody walks up to me and says, "Thank you for when you said this," or "Thank you for when you said that," or "Thank you for recognizing that there are people who are struggling during this holiday season," and it's not just joy, happy, love, and peace and happiness for everybody. It just isn't. And then I get humbled because I think that people think that I'm above all those things, and I'm not. I'm not. Yesterday morning was a very hard morning for me. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to start my Thanksgiving morning because the first thing that I normally did is to try to get a hold of my East Coast family, which began with my brother. So I called my sister-in-law. I didn't call her, that's a lie. I texted her, and I had already mailed a package to her that I timed that she would get the day before Thanksgiving, and praise the holy God, she got it the day before Thanksgiving, and she was thankful for it. And then I called my auntie in the car because I worked a little bit in the morning, and I was here, and then I went home and I called her on the way home, but there was a missing link. There's a missing piece to the seasonal story. And so I had to go there first before I went to, okay, all right, let's move on from this moment. It's good to have this moment, feel this moment. Don't ever deny the moment. But now we're going to move into this next thing, which is being with the kids and, my children, my adult partners in life, and creating new traditions, but never forgetting the traditions of old and what is important and who is important. I got on my Facebook. Some of you who are my Facebook friends saw stuff. There was a thank you, Felicia, for doing the holiday clip. She clipped a piece out of one of my other pre-holiday ponderings, and we put that in. And so it put that out to you so we could let you know how we felt about this day of gratitude. It was Native American Heritage Day. And so all of these things were just going on in my mind and in my heart and in my spirit. Yeah. It was a time of reconciliation. There's somebody in my life that I wrote an email to just say thank you for a year of reconciliation and camaraderie and so forth. It took both of us being adults and saying we're bigger than this moment. We're bigger than the moments of discourse that we've had. Let's rise above. Had that. I was in a meeting last week and it was a beautiful meeting, and we were talking about inclusiveness and equity, and we had two great speakers lead us through an incredible conversation, and all of a sudden the spirit bubbled up in me, and I had to, as you always know, I'm never trying to hurt anybody. This is not about hurting, and this is not about judgment. It isn't. I can't judge anybody for their behavior or what they think or who they are, because I don't know your full story. And we know our story are the memories that we have and the memories that we don't have. We make up the story. The story is the gray area and not just the black and white. And so the judgment that I would have about anything is only from my perspective and from how it makes me feel. And so I made a comment, an equity comment, that as a Black woman, when I go into any situation, I'm always trying to figure out who among the the non-Black people in the space are my ally. And I don't mean like an ally that says, oh, Micheal, you're always wonderful. Micheal, you're always great. No, no, no. I just mean that they're filtering what I'm saying through who I am, not just what they think I am as a Black person. And I go into every meeting that way, and I've done that my whole entire life. And so when we were having this conversation, I realized I needed to share that with my colleagues so they could understand that as authentic as I show up, there's a piece of me that I always hold back, and it takes a lot of work because I'm afraid that I will leave something where another woman of color will come behind me and I will have destroyed the road for her. Wow. And the immense anvil burden that I carry and that I now in my 60s have to just say exists. And so that was an incredible conversation. And one of my colleagues said, I didn't even know what my colleague was talking about, the incident. I'm sure it happened because it happens all the time, but I'm at the point now that I'm numb to the incidents. But this is what this colleague said to me. He said, you apologize for your truth. And he said, that is why I had to speak, that your truth was real and that I had seen it and that it is a real experience for you because I've been a part of it in meetings. It was a revolutionary, it was a life-changing, emotional moment among leaders for social change. When we give up big salaries and big retirements to go and work in the world with people, whether it's first responders or in the nonprofit world, we're saying we're committed to social change. We're committed to making the world better. And in that commitment, then we constantly have to weigh who we are and whether or not we're doing the right thing by the people that we serve or that we say we want to serve. And it's not just collecting, which I thought was another great concept that came out of this dialogue. Two great facilitators. Not just collecting data. We do this in every environment that I'm a part of. We are so busy survey after survey collecting data, and we have all this multitude of data. And the data is not changing, good people. The data is still telling us the same thing, that poverty is the foundation for violence, for racism, for homophobia, for everything. Poverty, it means you have no education. Poverty means you don't get to travel and learn about the greatness of other people. Poverty keeps you from seeing things that you should see because you live in a poverty bubble that only shows you the worst of yourself and of others. Poverty is the fundamental construct that is killing humanity. Because when you have money, you can live where you want to live. When you have money, you can eat what you want to eat. I was thinking about that yesterday. And again, I'm not putting anybody down, though. Of course, we went to the store and bought good food if you're into good food. But we have to think about the inequality of a system that makes it impossible for somebody else to have eaten good food yesterday. So, or any day, excuse me, I'm sorry, my allergies are bothering. So those are the kinds of things that we have to ponder every single day and then do something about it and be in action around all these things. But also have joy. Joy is the most wonderful thing. I went to visit some of my unsheltered friends yesterday morning, just to, again, they are a gift to me. They teach me so much, and I love them because they have such a giving spirit when they have nothing. They're living in tents, and one of them said to me, I probably will never live in a building or in housing again. This individual has PTSD. He is a veteran. He's older guy, older gentleman. And I think he just looks older because the street, ages people by 10 to 15 to 20 years is what I've been reading. But he said to me, I just love that you come. That's it. It's not what I bring. It's meaning the tangible. He says, just like that you come, that you show up, and that I'm not a project to you. I was like, whoa. So I had to ponder that in the car home. Like, okay, what did he mean by that? Because I also am a person of faith. So in a faith-based community, we go out and do ministries and things like that. And does ministry and project mean the same thing? I started doing that because I'm a lover of words, you guys. I'm a lover of words. And it's like, got that from you, Auntie Maud. Lover of words. And I have to figure out, like, what did you mean? And what is the real definition? So I'm constantly, like, my dictionary and my thesaurus are right over there, always to be pulled out to use. But what's the difference? If we're doing acts of kindness, but in our minds, we're doing it from a structural place and not from a heart place. Maybe that's what I'm asking. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe that's not what I'm asking. Maybe it is. I don't know. You figure it out. Help me. If we do things in a way where we're just doing because it is the right thing to do, and it's because you are a part of the global humanity and you're suffering and I'm not in that particular area, so I have to do for you. Maybe that's it. Or do we do it because it's a project and we have a goal and an outcome? Thomas Morton, who I read to you the last time, said, it's not about the outcomes. It's not about the goals and objectives. Those are great. Those are wonderful. They give us their guideposts. He didn't use that terminology, but that's what the quote was about. But it's about the relationship. It's about the intentional showing up for somebody. So I cried You know, I'm a crier anyway, but I cried because I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to live my life. I had a wonderful epiphany that's it. That's how I'm going to live my life. When I leave ASAP, I'm going to live my life just being out there in the world with other people, helping other people, going to those places where other people are afraid to wander. That's where you're going to find me. That's what I'm going to be doing. And I feel it. I know it. I've even envisioned it. I actually have, I bought 3 vision boards this year that I'm going to work on. And one of them is going to be my vision for exiting ASAP, because I feel the time is coming near that new leadership must be found and fostered and mentored, so that the new life, the new path that ASAP will take, and that'll take me a minute to move from that to out. So I'm preparing for that. So prepare. And this is something you all should do too. You don't have to do it on a vision board. I do vision boards because I'm a visual person. And probably because of my dyslexia, I'm a visual person. So I have to see things as well as hear them. And so I put the boards up in my room, and I got Post-it notes that have the goals of the vision board on my mirror, because I don't, as you can probably tell, I don't look much at my face, because it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. But lipstick is my thing. And so we look at that, meaning my spirit, all of me looks at that. And that's the subliminal messaging that I give myself, so that I live out my vision for my life. And so I invite you to prepare, and to prepare for 2022. What's your vision? Your vision is, I know we're all visioning, I apologize, the end of a pandemic. We're visioning that we get vaccinated, boosted, masked up, whatever has to happen. The herd effect takes in place. We need to get Dr. Pearl back so we can talk to him and find out where he stands with everything going on right now. We need to do that. So that's a 2020 goal. That's a universal goal across the world. Okay. Then what about you? What's your goal? What are your goals for 2022? And not things that you know, what do they say? New Year resolutions. Remember, I don't do those. But a goal and a vision. Thank you, Steve Schallenberger. By the way, Steve Schallenberger just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Steve Schallenberger, one of my besties in the whole wide world. He is an incredible man. He and his son, Rob, wrote that book, incredible book. It's like Dictionary, Thesaurus, Do What Matters Most. Great book. Get it, read it, use it to get your life in order. Because that's the thing. That's what I tell all the young people that I mentor. You got to have a sense of purpose, even if you don't know what the direction is. It's just like when you get in the car and you put your address in the GPS. That's the destination. But if you have never been there before, you don't know where the GPS is taking you. Have you ever had an address and the GPS is taking you, and then it takes you through another place, and you're like, oh my goodness, where is this place? But you keep going. You trust the GPS. You trust the Google map. Trust yourself. And what your soul is telling you is your direction. Your sense of purpose, your sense of why, your sense of direction. And then vision it. And I don't mean visioning it like on this such and such date, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. No. Vision it, the outcome of all of it, where you will be. Like, I have my tiny house vision board, and it's built. I have all the furniture in it. It's got furniture from where I live now in it. I've already placed it all. I know where I need to get rid of. And I want to say thank you to the young woman that drove all the way from Oakland out to Concord the day before Thanksgiving. And I didn't sell it. I gave her my old bed. I had a headboard and footboard, beautiful hardwood brass thingy in the middle, and beautiful. And I just decided it was time for a change. The bed is 30 years old. And so it's gone on to live a beautiful life with a beautiful Latinx young woman. And I am so thankful that I was able to do that before Thanksgiving. And then I got a new bed. Yay! So I slept really good. Oh my gosh, I slept really good. But the vision board is important. Having a vision for your life, having a focus, and seeing it to the end. You know, my vision to have a great footprint on this earth was why I bought my tree from Better Place Forest. My vision that I didn't want my children having to scurry around to try to figure out what to do when I passed away was, okay, then get it all together, get it all handled so they don't have to worry about it. Handle, boom. So I don't have that vision anymore because it's handled. The vision now about ASAP, making sure that we have great leadership so that I can walk away and know that it's in good hands and that we will continue to serve until there's nobody left with dementia or no caregiver that needs support so they can work or get respite. That's a vision. The vision for my elder years is to travel as much as I can for as long as I physically can. And it starts this September 2022, September 17th, 2022. I will be in Belgium. Yay. At a wedding, watching two people that I love, being with two children that are my godchildren that I love, finally being with them in person and touching them and watching them run around and hopefully reading to them and taking them for a walk, or having them take me for a walk since I don't know a thing about Belgium. That's a vision. That's a vision. Okay, that's a place that I see. I see myself going back to Bali and visiting with my friends there who have been through so much because of weather and global warming. I pray that one day I will be able to go back to Cuba and be with my friends there and visit with them. Right? That's something that I hope to do. So visioning is not just about a strategy to get to a place. It's figuring out the why and the purpose and then visioning it so that you have a focus. And yes, many, many experiences will happen along the way and I have a little light going on me. I'm shining for you guys. I'm beaming for you. You'll have other stories along the way. You'll make other stories along the way. Other people will join your story and some will leave your story. But then at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you will have the opportunity to look back on your life and say to yourself, yeah, you know, I did it. I did it. I did it my way, as Frank Sinatra said, you know, and that's how I look at life as a sacred journey. You know, this sacred journey with all of you will one day come to an end for whatever reason. But while we're on the journey together, let's just continue to join each other every Friday morning at 8 a.m., share our best recipes, share what we're grateful for, share this living moment that we're living together on this planet. I'm going to move up so that I stop doing that. That we're living together, that we're sharing each other's story. You're a part of my story. I'm a part of your story. And let's tread gently through each other's stories. Dr. Rob Kelly, I meant to text you yesterday, but I will be texting you today just to say how grateful I am that you are in this world sharing your light and love with everyone. To all of you out there that are feeling grief right at this very moment, this day is not a great day for you. We all at Life is a Sacred Journey wrap our arms around you and say, hang on. For all of you that are possibly thinking that your life doesn't matter and that you think that you should end it, All of us at Life is a Sacred Journey and all of us in the virtual neighborhood of Life is Sacred Journey is saying, no, your life does matter. And we need you to stay around, because whatever that glorious thing that you were created to create to be, you haven't done it yet. So hang in there. Call the national hotline. You'll see the number down below. We'll make sure that it's there. Know that you matter. Know that even though somebody didn't love you up to this very moment, love is on the way. It's on the way. It just hasn't found you yet. Dr. Rob told that story that he was an alcoholic, literally in the gutter, on the ground, and love showed up through another human being. And now he is writing books and sharing the message of love and healing and forgiveness and gratitude with millions probably of people across the world, including us. We had the honor here at Life is a Sacred Journey. So know that it's not over till it's over, and that love is on the way. So all of you out at Life is a Sacred Journey, I know this pondering was helter-skelter and all over the place, but it's the day after Thanksgiving, and I ate a lot of turkey yesterday because the turkey was delicious. Thank you so much for the beautiful dinner that I had, my family. But go out and do something that doesn't have anything to do with buying something today, okay? The economy is going to be all right because we've all spent enough money. And we're going to spend some. But don't be dictated to that today is the day that you got to go out and do all this shopping and whatever. Make it the day that you want it to be. If that's what you want to do, go do that. But if it's really not what you want to do, and you're being bombarded that you need to be somewhere to buy something, and it's not what you really want to do, overcome it and go do something else. But more importantly, look in the mirror and say you are loved. That you are loved, that you are loved, and that you can give love abundantly because you know what it is. Look in the mirror and be grateful for the life that you have, even though you may have sciatic pain like the Popa, or even if you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm getting so old, or even if you're young and confused, be grateful, because the confusion lifts just like the fog. Everything lifts at some point. Maybe not all in the same time, maybe not when you wanted it to happen, but it lifts, and you learn, and you have scars. I got a lot of battle scars from life, but that's okay. They're mine. They're uniquely mine, and you'll have yours. But then find that village. Find that village of love and compassion and empathy and sympathy, not too much, but a little. But also accountability and discipline, and more importantly, unconditional love, agape. I pray for all of you that you find agape in your life, because unconditional love is so magnificently, it's that warm place where you can go, where you know you'll be accepted for who you are. That place is here at Life is a Sacred Journey every Friday morning at 8 a.m. here with me, your captain of Ponderings, Micheal Pope. So have a wonderful day after Thanksgiving, or Gratitude Day, or Indigenous Day, or whatever day you choose to call it. But make sure you take time to love you, and then go out and share that wonderful feeling with someone else. We love you here at Life is a Sacred Journey. We're grateful for you, and we wish you the best day, the best weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. And if you're around on December 4th, come on over to 2320 Channing Way and join us for our open house. It's an open house. It's a holiday festival. We've got, I got messaging. Santa Claus has said he's got us on the list. He's coming by. So if you got some little kiddos there that would like a photograph with Santa Claus, bring them on over. We'll make it happen. We got a photo booth. We've got Vegan Mob, wonderful, delicious, Black-owned vegan caterer, restaurant, mobile, whatever they're calling that, pop up. They're going to be here with delicious food. We're going to have Brett Sweet is going to have his record release. The Long Goodbye is going to happen, and we're going to stream that out so everybody can hear that incredible music about his journey with his father who had Alzheimer's. So December 4th, 3 to 6, join us. It's going to be fun. Come on by. And if you're going to go to the UC Berkeley football game, okay, there's a method to the madness. It starts at 8 o'clock. You can come a little bit before 6, get you some food, get some water, buy some, we're going to have some beautiful baskets. You can buy a present or something. You can even leave it here and come back and get it on Monday because we won't stay until after the game. But you'll support a great organization that's doing some great stuff in the community, and we will be forever grateful for that. So Life is a Sacred Journey is signing out this Friday, this last Friday of November, I believe. Wow, I believe it is. Woohoo! All right, you guys, December's on its way. The end of the year is near. Oh, man. All right. Have a good day. Have a good Friday. Hug your tree. Hug a dog. Pet a cat. Hug a person. If you're vaccinated, find another vaccinated person. Put a mask on if you still feel like it might not be a good idea. Get their permission. Give a hug. Get a hug. Man, I know we've missed it. Peace out.